Hey there, folks. Welcome to our first Curiosities episode. So these episodes will have a little bit different of a pace than the episodes that go into the research papers themselves. In the Curiosities episodes, we like to be a lot more laid back and just kind of talk about some of the concepts that were covered in the papers that we find a little bit interesting and that we'd like to go into a little more detail on. So hope you enjoy it, and let's get into it.
So a couple curiosities I had would be, how would the system itself be converted into a system that includes long-term storage? So capacitors aren't able to have long-term storage, whereas batteries are. But that brings up the predicament of having to convert between AC and DC and back to AC to be able to power a circuit system. So possibly using a charge controller or other means to do that would be a possibility. But as of now, I don't believe there's any way of doing that on a micro scale, as we've been talking about. But maybe in the future there will be something that'll be plausible for us to make long-term storage, such as batteries or other means, in a small scale. A lot of systems nowadays are trying to use what they call biomimicry, which is basing machinery on nature. Nature has been here for millions of years and has evolved and been able to optimize itself, so why shouldn't we learn from nature? One of the things that we were thinking about is, what are some accumulators in nature? Plants take starch and then they can break it down into glucose, which they then release into energy through utilization of their mitochondria. So when they do that, that's almost the same as being able to take the energy into a capacitor and then later release it. It's on a lot smaller scale than what we're working with capacitors and resistors.
They mentioned microsolar in one section, and I was kind of curious as to how small of a panel you can get these days. I know that like calculators, a lot of them have solar panels on them that are pretty small, and like a small enough voltage to where you can just put your thumb over the panel and the calculator turns off, right? So I did a little research and I found some micro solar panels available online, just for anybody to buy, on a website called DigiKey. So this is a solar panel that's manufactured by OSEP Electronics Limited. I guess that's how it's pronounced. OSEPP.
OSEP.
But yeah, this little solar panel, it's 2.4 inches by 2.4 inches. It puts out 3.6 volts. And you can get one of them for $7, so they're pretty cheap. If you wanted to try and make a system like this, if you wanted to try and make an Immortal Machine on your own, it's really not that financially distant. And that's just one. That's just off of a cursory search. There's another one here, which is 3.55 watts is what it says. It's only 7 grams, and it's flexible. This one gets about 0.6 volts per cell. A 4-pack of them is $14. So they're a little more expensive, but they look pretty cool. You can get a little stack of them. They're super light. They're super small. This would be something I would imagine you could line like the skin of something with. I'm thinking like the skin of like a car, the skin of an aircraft. So these are actually these are really neat. And again, not that expensive. The idea of it being really light and flexible is pretty cool. What kind of microcontroller do you think you would need? There was a controller they mentioned actually in the report that you could run on the Arduino platform. That was the AT-Tiny85. Let's see how much that costs. Oh, here we go. Oh my god, dude, it's 73 cents for one. Oh, if you get 1,000 of them. If you get one, it's $1.
Okay.
That's insane, man. Alright, so it's $1 for this thing. So you could spend less than $10 and get a microcontroller and a solar panel and have the biggest components of your Immortal Machine. There you go.
Yep.
The future costs $10, people. Well, that's all we got for you on today's episode. Again, I hope you enjoyed the more laid-back style of this type of episode, and if you've got any comments or concerns or topics that you think we should cover, feel free to let us know. You can reach us at epistem.pod@gmail.com. That's EPISTEM.pod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.